Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Dawn and I would love to welcome you to my channel. Today's video is going to be a really deep dive into spirit guides, and I am super stoked to share this with you because it is some channeled information and conversations I've had with my guides, and I am just super excited to share all this stuff with you. Although I'm sure you guys know a little bit about spirit guides already, and I've actually done a previous video about spirit guides, this one goes into a very interesting direction that I think may blow your minds, so I'm super excited about it. First and foremost, I'd like to start off reminding you that you are a beautiful being of light. So as you are this beautiful being of light, you give off a unique light and vibration. We are these light body beings or souls, and we also have this physical body. And our journey here is to learn as much as we can about everything in our universe, but it's also how to work with this physical shell, our physical body, and our light body. So I want to take this a little step further. So as we know that a human being, we kind of believe in this linear time, right? We think that we are born and then we have all these life experiences, we grow old and then we die. Well, most of us light workers and even physicists will agree that that is a total illusion and that there is no such real thing as time. So keep that in mind as I'm talking about all this stuff coming forward. Your main spirit guide is really well connected to you. You made contracts with this spirit guide to follow you through this entire lifetime. And of course, you have other guides, angels, past loved ones that kind of come and support or pop in and out when you need them. But you have this one main guide. So in a meditation, I was channeling and talking to my guides, and I was asking them some more questions about this because I really started thinking and wondering, well, if I work with angels, which I do often, and I communicate to past loved ones, and there's all these different type of energy, light body beings, why is this one so connected to me, right? So I started asking some more questions, and they were explaining that this particular guide, the one that you have kind of for your human lifetime, is tethered to you, that you had agreements to do this kind of journey together in a way, that they can actually feel some of your physical discomforts and pain or worries or fears or joys, things like that. They are very connected right now. As you become more of an empath or a light body being aware of self, you feel emotions of things and situations and people and circumstances around you. So of course, let's say Archangel Michael, he can feel when you're scared or things like that. But this guide feels not it coming from you. It feels like it not coming off of you, but coming from you, like they're tethered to you. And so that really got me thinking. And I was like, well, why is this particular guide so connected to you? And I started realizing that if I am a light body being and I am going through the motions of me, Ashley, right, and there is no such thing as time, then I know that not only can you reincarnate in a different lifetime, a past life, we call this, right? But if there's no such thing as time, then I could actually be having a past life right now, at the same time as I'm living this time, right? Because if I'm a light body being, why couldn't I be a human right now and another, Palladian somewhere off in another planet at the same time, right? So I started asking more questions about this, and I finally came to the conclusion. I was like, hold on. Is my actual spirit guide a fragmented light body being version of myself? And it's funny how comical your guides can be. They literally didn't say a word to me and just did this. So sometimes they will just point blank tell me, no, we can't answer that for you. You have free will, and that would, disrupt something within your free will choices. Other times they'll say, I can only tell you this much. But it was hilarious to me that they didn't say yes, but they were kind of like, and so this was a couple years ago. So I basically figured out a couple years ago that your main guide is actually you. So I don't know how many minds that's going to blow right now, but your main guide is tethered to you and feels things that you feel because it is actually you. It's just in a different time place. So it makes perfect sense when you kind of realize how closely related you are to this spirit guide, right? So that was the first kind of cool, mind-blowing spirit guide thing that I understood. So fast forward years later to more of this current time and day. So as I'm becoming more awakened, as we all are, and I'm definitely tapping into my 5-dimensional self, I also realized that more and more of my guides started to appear, and then they called themselves the team. They will refer to themselves as a team of messengers or team of light. And so I had one really awesome guide that I call Jay, and this guide came forward when I really needed to buckle down and understand and learn how to be a medium, right? So he really helped me bridge that gap. And early on, this is years ago, early on, he had said some foreshadowing things, like he would be this microphone for me, and he would kind of bridge this gap. And then once I got the hang of some things, he would kind of step back. And so as that has happened, he's always there, but he kind of has stepped back, and other guides have kind of come forward. So it's been very, very interesting journey. And I'm going to be sharing more channeled messages with you guys. But so here's kind of like the breakdown that I've gotten recently in the last couple months. This is the major breakdown. So starting closer to you and your physical vibrations and things like that is your main spirit guide, right? The one I just explained, okay? So that's kind of like your first level spirit guide. Now, the second level spirit guides is usually the ones from your angelic realm. So the angels, the archangels, there's Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, they are in a different vibration, a different frequency, right? So just kind of above ours. Every religion across the whole world, every culture even, has stories or beliefs or things like that from hundreds of years ago about winged men. So they've been around for a long time. Shaman and spiritual leaders and things like that have been aware of there being angels. Okay, so that's no surprise. And the biggest thing that I think is important is the reason why they are kind of like that next level is because they are assigned to human beings. Their job is to protect humanity, particularly Archangel Michael, but it doesn't matter. All of them kind of have their unique specialties to them. So I want to describe a little bit about how they feel. Now, your main spirit guide that I was talking about previously, when they communicate to you, it sounds like you in your head because it's you. So, the interesting thing is that I think we often dismiss some of the communication our guides have with us. We think it's our own thoughts or our random imagination. And so this is part of my message today too. We got to cut that out and start really paying attention. Now, when your angels are communicating with you, it's similar. Again, it's your voice in your head, but this time angels have this unique nurturing softness, even though Archangel Michael is this incredibly heroic angel. And how I see him in my mind's eye is I see him with this huge sword, armor, and a lion always walking with him, right? So, and again, everybody's a little different, so everybody might see him a little differently, but that's just kind of how I see him. And he has this presence about him, but it's still loving. It's like this positive, wonderful, loving, almost father-like figure, in the sense that there's this masculine energy that is there to protect you, but also loves you unconditionally. So that's kind of how they feel to me. It's this very soft, nurturing feeling. But if they communicate to me, I do not hear them with my actual ears. I hear them in my mind, and it seems like it's a thought or a memory or my own mind rambling. But they speak differently. They don't talk how I'm talking to you now. They use different words and sentences and tones and things like that. So that's kind of the unique thing about angels. They are assigned to humanity. So that's kind of cool. So they're very close to our vibration, in a sense of because I'm going to go from our spirit guide vibration, our main, and then angelic realm, and we're going to kind of keep going up and up as far as vibration goes. Okay, so the third next set of spirit guides that you're going to have is your past loved ones and your soul family. So let me explain that. So your past loved ones are going to be people, they can be people that you've actually met in this lifetime that have crossed over. They can be family members that you never met. Like, for example, if you had grandparents that you didn't get a chance to meet and they passed away before you were born. And remember, you have had many lives over many different times. And so you have family members that you have never met as a human in this life and you will never meet. And because your family members, a particular smaller group of them, is tethered to you because they are your soul family. You have connections and ties with them. You usually reincarnate with this group. You sign up to take on these lives and lessons together, and you kind of interchange your roles from time to time. They are forever always tethered to you in a very tight-knit family kind of feeling, right? So this next level of guides can be past loved ones when they pop in to kind of help guide you along your journey, okay? So I think that's a really unique one. So if you are a light worker or a medium or anything like that, you are nodding your head and you're kind of going along with me because you're getting it, because you have your spirit guide, and then we closely work with the angelic realm, and then beyond that we start working with past loved ones. And so this has been my personal journey and how I've developed my skill sets, my gifts, whatever you want to call them, is learning self and healing and working with self, communicating better with my spirit guides, using the angels to kind of still go through and heal self and communicate even to them, and then so on and so on. So that was the third kind of group of your team of spirit guides, we'll call them. So now is the more exciting group. Not that any other group before this is not as exciting, but this one is really, really awesome. So this is the fourth group that is a part of your spirit guide team, okay? So because of the shift, so let me explain that term really quick. Hippies, light workers, mediums, energy workers, anybody that has been in tuned to their own environment has noticed for years about this shift, right? Now, my spidey senses and energetic intuition, we'll call it, really started spiking around 2016. Now, I know that many of you probably are like, holy crap, me too, right? So the reason why is because we can pinpoint it back to where they basically changed the weight of an electron, and we kind of messed with our reality and our realms and stuff like that. My guide Jay explained a lot of that stuff to me. I actually put it in my book called Awaken Conversations. But for this particular video, I'm just going to focus on the fact that shit changed, okay? Literally, anatomically, anatomy-wise, electronically, atoms, everything kind of shift and changed, right? Our reality changed. And so what that did is it kicked up a notch, right? And so fast forward to today, and it looks like there's absolute utter chaos and everything is just crumbling apart. And again, for all my light workers out there, you all know that this is because all of our systems do not function properly and they do not work. And they are vibrating at a very third dimensional low vibration that does not serve everybody in their best, highest good. And so they have to come crumbling apart. Okay, so that's part of the chaos. So as this is happening, all these things are kind of crumbling and shifting and things like that. We also had the literal electronic change that happened with the atoms and electrons and neutrons and everything shifting. And so now, present day, we as a collective, as humanity, and as an individual, our vibration is shifting and changing. Our very DNA is shifting and changing, and I'll do another video on that. But everything is changing, which means that as we raise our vibration up, we are able now to go even farther with our team that we have had and always will have and never even knew we had, that team of guides that now are at this really high vibration. So this is group 4, which is why I said it's really cool. So group 4 is other light body beings that were once you. Okay, so let me explain that. So again, if there's no such thing as time, and we know that you are living this lifetime as well as other lifetimes, my guides have channeled messages and explained to me that the realm lines between all of your lives are blurring, meaning that you can connect to, communicate to your other lifetimes, which means you have connections to all the knowledge that you've had in that other lifetime, the experiences. So I would not be surprised at all if some of you guys are having really weird dreams, like as if you were an alien, as if you were a mermaid, if you were like some bird flying around, or you just felt like you were an angel, anything like that, okay? And again, do not dismiss this kind of stuff. This is not your imagination, okay? There's like hundreds of thousands of people having weird dreams and all these things at the same time. I did an actual video on it, so it's not your imagination, okay? It's the vibration rising, and you're actually able to connect to other fragmented versions of yourself, okay? I'm super excited about this because as I have been working on my own vibration and channeling messages, I have kind of been slowly introduced to some of these new to me guides, and it's pretty freaking phenomenal, okay? So these are going to be light body beings and that have played a role, just like you're playing a role as human, they played a role in a different life, in a different location, non-human most of the time. And you are now able to kind of interact and communicate with each other, okay? So I know this may sound a little funny to a lot of you guys, but those of you that are channeling, mediums, light workers, any Reiki masters, you guys out there are like, holy crap, this girl is speaking my language right now, because I know you guys feel it, and I know you guys know that this is like truth because it's hitting you right in your heart chakra, right? So anyway, I just felt like really guided to explain some of this stuff to you and the importance of all these kind of like layers upon layers upon layers of your spirit guides. You are never alone. You have a whole team of people, right? We used to think, oh, my spirit guide or my guardian angel, like it was one person. You've got a huge freaking team. And the weirdest and coolest part is most of them, half of them are you in a different light body form. So, which is mind blowing because there's no such thing as time. So it actually makes sense, right? So I hope you're as mind blown as I am and as excited about this news as I have been. And just the excitement behind discovering all this information for the first time, and just really digesting it. And like, you know, every time I come across some new information like this, I have 1,000 more questions. Which reminds me, if you guys have questions, please comment on this video. I would love to answer any questions for you. I also do private readings. I do private Reiki mediumship readings and even channeling things for you guys. Like if you'd like to meet or interact with your spirit guides. Now, I can't like bridge the gap kind of between you guys. Like you have to do your own work to raise your vibration up to really get a nice communication going with your guides on a regular basis. But it can at least shine some light on maybe, you know, like what their mannerisms are and their energy is. So you know what you're looking for when you're communicating a little bit and stuff like that. Or validation. And sometimes validation is just all you need for me to say, oh, they're ... And you're like, I knew it, you know? So, but remember, they're going to sound like you, okay? They're going to sound like you. They're usually, and they, you know, I shouldn't say that 100% because everybody's a little bit different, but I would say 90% of the time, they still kind of sound like you. They may have a little bit of an accent, or they may kind of like, it's almost like if you were trying to mimic someone from Texas, like a Texan accent or a British accent, or, you know, something like that, but it's still going to be your voice. You know what I mean? So yeah, expect them to sound a little bit like you, and you'll feel the energy once you really clear out your own chakras, which is why I had to do a full series of chakra balancing and healing before I even did this video, because it's so important for you to work on self and your own chakras. Once you recognize your own energy, then communicating with your guides, you can feel, and you don't think it's just your own mind chattering to you. You can actually tell the difference, versus, and I can tell the difference between a guide of mine versus a past loved one of mine, or the energy of somebody else in the room. So once you start really honing yourself and clearing out any blockages and really working on yourself, everything else becomes easier and easier and easier. And as you raise your vibration, your guides will kind of give you more little tricks and things to kind of exercise your gifts so that you can get better at all of this. Okay, so lastly, before I go, I wanted to share with you guys some channeled messages I got from my guides about this specific video. So I asked them Was there anything else that you wanted me to say or repeat? And so I wrote it down, and so I'm just going to share it with you guys, okay? So I asked, is there any other things that you want me to bring up or say about spirit guides? Like, what do you want the world to know, pretty much? We are always with you. You are never alone. We are always connected. We are a part of you as you are a part of us, and we are one. Which is interesting because they're talking about that oneness, right? That collective oneness. They also said, some of you are simply here to learn and observe. Others are here for a mission, a specific purpose. If you have a deep desire for peace, justice, helping others to heal, and oneness, you are ready to hear us, now more than ever. We are the voice of love, encouragement, kindness, compassion, motivation, inspiration, and support. If you want to communicate to us, simply ask. If you want to have better, deeper conversations with us, simply act. Meditate actively, listen. We're there for you always. Now, more than ever, you can hear our voices. The more you meditate and heal yourself and become more of your true self and a brighter light, creating a higher vibration, the more we can communicate. Please remember, we are sending you love and light along your journey, always. So there's just a little glimpse into some channeled messages for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I was super excited to share this stuff with you guys just because it's a total different concept to what spirit guides are and how they interact with us. I hope you were inspired by this. My purpose is to help you along your journey here, to help raise the vibration of the collective, to help people awaken, to get you just thinking and questioning things, because that is what we're here to do, is to learn, right? So I hope you loved this. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. If this is stuff you guys are interested in, I've got a ton more channeled messages that are going to be coming very soon. Please like and subscribe below. Yeah, love and light, my friends.